Probably you got okay. I'm not faking this. I'm not doing this for attention. You guys are probably gonna think I'm not manly enough when I tell this story, but it happened. I want to since all this stuff about sexual harassment has been coming out. I've, I did not want to like keep hiding. I have a story too. And no, I'm not bashing women or anything. I'm not putting women down just because I have a story too. No, I'm just proving that men can be harassed too. Not. I'm not saying that women don't go through because I know a lot of women go through this too. But like, but it's always the women that go through it, and men don't speak out about it because people are always thinking less of it. So that's why I'm coming out to you guys with my story, with how I like went through this. You know, I'm gonna just get started. I'm gonna try to do this with no editing. I'm gonna do this in one take. This is gonna be a one take video, no cuts, no editing, none of that. No, none of that's gonna be in here. And this might not be a happy video. I do have I do have a I do have a nice happy video coming tomorrow. I do make videos Friday and Saturday. So yeah, you guys do always want to see the funny side of me. So that will be coming tomorrow, don't worry. But like I just want you guys to see this side of me as well because I know you guys like when I tell stories and stuff. But I never told a story like this because I have just started YouTube and I don't want to like go deep in there. I don't want you guys to go deep into me yet. But now that everything's in the news, that this topic that I'm going to talk about has been in the news lately, has been talked about so much that I'm just going to have to start talking about it. So here's my story. Well, this it might not be much, cause there's not a lot that happened. There's not a lot that happened, but it still happened. Like the way, like the story that I'm about to tell, like it did. It's not. It wasn't a scary. It wasn't a scary experience for me. It was a bad experience, but it's not like what. It's not like what you think harassment is. I'm gonna tell you that. Okay, this happened in 8th grade. I was in middle school when this happened. Like I'm way too young for this stuff to be happening to me. But like it is a cruel world out here, and you don't know. And this was someone who was my age that was doing this to me. This happened in like 8th grade, so I was in middle school. This is another middle school story I'm about to tell. It happened in middle school, so I was in 8th grade, right? I used to have this boy who would bully me constantly. Ever since I got into school, he has been saying stuff about me, bullying me nonstop, and I have never did anything to him. And I will always try to defend myself. When I defended myself from him, he turns the story around and says I'm the one that's bullying him. But that was not always the case. So, now that you know about that, I'm going to get into it. This was in lunch. We were in lunch. So, in my old school, when I was in middle school, right, and we would have lunch, they will call the students up by the classes we have. Like it was a number and a letter. I'm gonna give you an example. I was in 8th grade, but I'm gonna say like, if you were in 8th grade, right? They would like say, oh 8A, come up get your lunch. They will do that. Well, I'm not gonna tell you what class I was in now. I'm not gonna put out my information like that, but that's just how it was. So yeah, they called my class by the letter and the number. I mean, the number and the letter that our class was. They called our class up. So we get our lunch, and we was just like waiting. I was waiting and waiting for other people to get their lunch. It was a lot of people on the line because it was another class that was still there. So we was still. My class was still waiting. My class was behind them. So it was like a lot of people on the lunch line. And no, I'm not about to cry. I'm just like in lost for words right now. And my like mouth is dry. Like, so yeah, I'm not crying about it. It wasn't like a sad, scary thing that I do count it as scary though, because I never had something like this happen to me. I'm talking way too much. Like, sorry that I'm talking way too much. It's just that I have to get this out there. Like, and people are gonna call me gay for this. Like, I don't care. Men can have this stuff happen to them too. So you don't know until it happens to you. So you can't judge anybody until it happened to you, because you don't know. You don't know how it felt. Like, you don't know how sexual harassment victims feel about it. So I suggest you can keep quiet about it, or like don't listen to my story if you're not gonna say anything nice about it. There's what I'm gonna say. So yeah, the lunch line and everything, we were on it, and the boy that I was talking about, the boy that always bullied me, I'm not gonna say his name though, because that's like privacy, and plus I don't know if he does watch my channel, so like he is gonna, I don't want him starting things with everybody, and so I'm not gonna say his name and everything. But yeah, he was he was standing behind me on the line where we was getting our lunch, right? So you know, as usual, he was touched, but no, it wasn't like a sexual touch. It was like the hitting touch, you know, stuff like that. The sexual stuff didn't start yet, so I'm not going there yet. Then he keeps calling me names, you know, hitting me, and well, I don't know if he was hitting me. I don't think he was hitting me, but you know, telling how he is, he might would have hit me if he did that. So I'm not gonna say he really hit me, because I don't know if that's what really happened, but yeah, I think I was talking to like my friend or something like that, and then the boy that was behind, the boy that is always bullying me, he was behind me, and here he comes. He was close to me, and he starts doing, I don't know. He starts humping me like. At first, I didn't know he was doing that until I felt like someone's hands on my rear end and stuff. I felt someone thrusting into my rear end. Like he was, well, no, he ain't do all that. He was just like this. But yeah, he was pushing himself into my rear end. He was doing the humping. He was humping me on my rear end. I didn't know he was doing it until I felt it and turned around, and I was kind of shocked that he did that. Like you may not think this is harassment, but it is though, because you don't just touch no one. You don't just touch and hump somebody. You don't touch no one without consent. And that was without my consent, because I did not know he was doing that until I turned around and seen him when I felt it. And yeah, you don't go around humping anybody. So yeah, that is sexual harassment. Whether it was aggressive or not, it is still harassment, because that is no. So yeah, after this happened, I told my family about it. I told my mom. I told my mom about it. My mom went to the guidance counselor. I think my mom called the guidance counselor when I told her about it. And then my guidance counselor, she started like asking me like, well, we were okay. So I told my mom, and then the next day, the day after I told my mom, the guys counselor called both of us into the office because I guess like my mom called her and told her about it that day that I went home and told her about it. And yeah, the guys counselor, she asked both of us questions. This was in middle school, by the way, if you didn't know. So yeah, so she was asking us questions about like what was he doing and stuff. And then here he goes turning the story around and says that he didn't do it. So now, no, I had other kids in my middle school saying that he didn't do it either. They were talking about, we saw him, he wasn't doing this and that too. Well, yes he was, because he was behind me. You should have seen the movement he was doing. He was like, I'm gonna do it up here because I don't think you guys can see that. He was like this. So he was like this. That's how you know that was a humping move, because the way he like was moving. And they were like, oh, he didn't do this to you. You just wanted him. You don't like him or whatever. You always tell lies about people. That's why you don't. First of all, why would I lie about harassment? I don't want to say this word. I'm gonna have to though. But like, they were saying that he didn't harass me. Because first, why would I lie about harassment? What if I was raped that day? Let's talk about that. This was in front of everybody too. I did say this was in the lunch line, so this was in front of every student that was on that line. I have no words. And then, like, I wasn't in the class with him anymore because after I told what happened to me, the guidance counselor decided to transfer him out of. She didn't transfer him out of the school. She transferred him out of the class that I was in with him. So yeah, he got transferred to another class, and well, he still like bullied me and all this other stuff, but yeah. So yeah, this is it for the video. Comment, like, subscribe, and everything, and I'll come back with another video.